have you done, baby?
Wow. You know, I'm so glad you just had the opportunity to see what I see each and every day at ICBA. The power of our staff, our team, the inspiration that they glean from you, our members, to do those jobs, to create those great headlines, and make sure our industry flourishes. From government relations, education, our services network, and everywhere in between, we at ICBA are all in it together, fighting and winning for our members every day. It's a privilege to serve you community bankers, a privilege shared by all. The future. It's here, it's now. And if there were any questions about that, I'm pretty sure my conversation with Sophia coming up next will show us this firsthand. It should be fun. And while the future is exciting, it may also be a bit daunting, certainly challenging, maybe even a little scary. But we've all heard that getting outside of our comfort zones is a good thing. This week's convention will only reinforce that as we encourage you to be bold in innovation, leadership, and life. Being bold and stepping out into the unknown can allow us to accomplish great things. It forces us to see things from a new perspective, and it challenges us in ways that make us question, learn, improve, and grow. It helps us to flourish. And I would know. I stood on this stage 3 years ago and gave my address as ICBA's chairman. And now I stand here as ICBA president and CEO. That didn't just happen. And as I reflect on my journey, I see a series of conscious choices that push me far beyond my comfort zone. I believe in being bold and taking on new challenges. When it came time for me to go to college, I took a bold step that pushed me completely out of my comfort zone, moving from a small town in the high desert of the Rocky Mountains to Boston. Then I had the decision to make. Accept offers to stay on the East Coast and work for a very large firm, or move back to my hometown of 6,000 people and help my family run the community's bank. Either of those choices are bold moves. But really bold was the uncharted territory of becoming the nation's youngest bank CEO. I had not been involved in advocacy before, but I expanded my horizons, getting involved at the state level, then becoming chairman of the Independent Community Bankers of New Mexico. From the state level, I was able to see national advocacy at work, and I became involved with ICBA. I took on the opportunity of committee work and eventually became ICBA's chairman. Silly me, I thought I'd get a break after that. But most recently, after running my family's bank for the last 20 years, I turned over the reins to our great leadership team and moved my family from that town of 6,000 people to Washington, D.C. to take on the challenge, the opportunity, and the distinct privilege to become ICBA's 5th president and CEO. This is my story, and these are examples of how I've stepped outside of my comfort zone, and I'm so glad I've done it each and every day. You all know by now, I'm all about telling your story. So if I were to ask everybody in this room about when you stepped out of your comfort zone throughout your life, I know we would have thousands of examples. I see those wheels turning as I look around, and I'm seeing a few smiles, and that's a good thing. You remember that doing something a little new, a little different, is actually exciting. It may even fill you with a lot of pride, saying to yourself, I did it. I did it because I had the courage to say yes and move forward. It could be something as simple as making a loan to a new kind of business in your community, bringing in a new technology, maybe something not done before, but you see the opportunity to do something positive for your customer, your community, and your bank. Something new, something different that helps your customers, your community, your bank, and you flourish. This is exactly the emotion I want you to hold on to as you think about challenge, which we as an industry, really any industry for that matter, encounters along the way. The ICBA team has heard me say many times over the past year, the challenge is opportunity. Just turn a challenge around and what do you have? An opportunity. After all, that's how businesses are started. Filling a need, solving a problem. As community bankers, we're all entrepreneurs at heart. We get it. So, when I said earlier that the future may be a little scary, what we're really saying is that the future will hold some challenges, some unknowns. But now turn that around and say, the future holds many opportunities. I know firsthand the incredible struggles we face as community bankers every day. We have heavy regulatory burden, an incredibly rapid pace of change, management succession, liquidity concerns, the list goes on and on. But for every source of concern, there's good news as well. As an industry, we're seeing very positive financial results. Loan balances are growing, and in this last year alone, 16 new de novo applications. We are witnessing rapid technological change, but this offers partnership and new investment options and new ways to serve our customers. Our customers who find value in a local community bank invested and dedicated to their future. Because you know what? Relationships matter. They mattered 100 years ago just as much as they matter today and will matter in the future. That small business isn't going to get the same experience from a mega bank. They aren't going to get the market knowledge, high-quality customer service, high-tech, high-touch experience that community banks offer. Yes, I get it. We have incredible challenge, but we have incredible opportunity. We have the opportunity to push beyond our comfort zones and be bold in innovation, in leadership, and in life. And with that, let's all promise here together that as community bankers, we will welcome the future because we will be bold in innovation, in leadership, and in life, all while holding steadfast to what makes our industry truly great. The future is bright. Let's embrace it. Let's take control of our own story and write it for ourselves. We have the power to do that. We have the opportunity to do that. And at ICBA, we have the opportunity to serve you, help your community banks every day. It's a privilege to represent you, and it's a job that nobody on our team takes lightly. The proof was in that video you just saw. We represent community banks. We represent the good guys and gals. And we promise you that we will continue to be bold in advocacy, innovation, and education, always holding true to our mission to create and promote an environment where community banks flourish. Let's start with advocacy. This year, you showed community bankers that anything is possible when we work together. The passage of community bank regulatory relief through S2155 is proof. Signed after years of unwavering community banker advocacy, the landmark law advances numerous policies long sought by ICBA to unravel many of the regulatory burdens that community banks face every day. And while more work remains to be done on these and other reforms, the historic law is accumulation of a multi-year ICBA effort to further tier regulations to the size, risk, and business model of community banks. And let's just point out, we got a bipartisan bill through Congress last year. Nobody else can say that. You, community bankers, can. And it's because community banking is something we can all agree on. We can all come together on the politics of community banking because it's about making our communities a better place for all who call it home. That's something unique, something meaningful and impactful. As ICBA works with the new Congress, we will continue to push for economic prosperity and opportunity at the local level. Our new legislative and regulatory relief platform, Community Focus 2020, the community bank agenda for expanding economic opportunity, is just what community banks in our communities need. The multifaceted agenda retains ICBA's commitment to common sense reforms that will promote greater access to financial services and economic opportunity at local communities. And while it touches on everything from regulatory relief to credit unions, to the farm credit system, innovation, cybersecurity, Community Focus 2020 focuses on bipartisan reforms that policymakers on both sides of the aisle can agree on. We're working with policymakers to make change happen, change that will allow our local communities to flourish. And while advocacy is core to ICBA's mission, you know we're also moving mountains with innovation. With the launch of the ICBA Think Tech Accelerator and Network, we are making community bank fintech partnerships more accessible and cost-effective for community banks. We aren't sitting back and waiting to see what plays out. We are writing our story. You likely saw this firsthand at the Think Tech Showcase yesterday, where our ICBA Think Tech Accelerator finalists demoed their community banking focused products. After our 12-week boot camp in partnership with the Venture Center in Little Rock, Arkansas, it's amazing to see how far these companies have come and how they will serve our community banks in the future. Talk about getting out of your ICBA comfort zone, right? Starting a FinTech Accelerator program, investing and seeding these early stage startups so we can write our own story as an industry, that is bold. This is opportunity, and ICBA is making it happen. And if you haven't already, I also encourage you to network with the FinTech Accelerator finalists and see what they have to offer. And you can also leverage the ICBA Think Tech Network powered by Phoenix Tech Connect. This curated online directory for ICBA members is a one-stop shop for finding fintech partners who can help your bank improve and move towards the high-tech, high-touch community bank model that is the future, that is now. It's exciting. The opportunities are exciting. And finally, education. This one is near and dear, because as we talk about education, we talk about the future of our industry and the future of our communities. As a third-generation community banker, I've experienced this firsthand and know the thoughts that run through a young person's mind when they are weighing, do I stay, do I go, or do I go back home? I knew what it meant to be a community banker, to be able to make a difference in your community each and every day, but not everyone has this perspective. What can we do to make sure the next generation knows what it means to be a community banker? This is one reason I'm a big fan of our Lead Forward Summit, which is held every fall. As we talk about the future, the program is perfect for our industry's future leaders. If you haven't already sent a member of your team to this event or to another one of Community Banker University's incredible programs, please consider doing so. I've had the opportunity to attend the event and meet our industry's future leaders. It again reinforced that our future is bright because not only are they knowledgeable, they saw the bigger picture and why our industry is so important. Please continue to mentor these leaders. And if you don't have a succession plan in place, leverage ICBA's resources and programs. And reach out to young people in your community and encourage them to consider a career in community banking. You don't need to go to Wall Street to be a banker. A career in a community bank is so much more rewarding in so many ways. Open their eyes to those possibilities. Allow students or young professionals to shadow you and your staff. Open up your bank for internships and other educational opportunities. Again, there is so much opportunity to bring in younger generations They are our future leaders. And if you're part of a family-owned bank and the future of your succession is unknown, bring your children to our convention. Get them involved in ICBA. Let them see the great opportunities that are part of this incredible industry. I have always felt privileged to be a part of it. We are all privileged to be a part of it. So as we write our story through advocacy, innovation, and education, we must remember to embrace change and support each other in that process. We will be bold in innovation, be bold in leadership, and be bold in life. Because together, there is nothing we can't accomplish. We are the independent community bankers of America.